With me in the room, I've got Wesley Butler as well as Hannah Khosravi. We'll be able to introduce them a little bit further, but just before I talk too much, what I'll end up doing actually is I'll pass off to Carol Liu. She will sort of lead things off for us. So let me just give me a moment here to get that poll information off, and then let's go ahead and share our screen here. Okay, so Carol, I guess take it away, please.
Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us for our Civil and Infrastructure webinar today. We'll be showing a very high-level presentation of 5 design products that will help you with your current projects. So if you have further questions about a specific product, our contact information will be posted at the end of the presentation. And like Johan said, my name is Carol. I'm a product marketer for Transoft Solutions. And before I introduce the rest of the team, I'm going to discuss who Transoft is and what we do. So as a company, we have over 25 years of experience in software development expertise to support you guys in the AEC profession. Where our products are trusted and used in over 120 countries, and we're always enhancing and developing innovative products that are tailor-made solutions to meet your design challenges. And as you can see here, we have a global presence. Our main headquarters are located in Richmond, BC, Canada. We also have, with our partners, we have about 88% of the US DOTs and 300 cities who use our products. And also we're partnered with local universities here in BC and also a lot in the States as well. And as you can see here, these are the platforms that our products are supported on. And this is just the library of the rest of the products that Transoft Solutions produces. And now to introduce the technical team, with Johan Flores first. He's a product manager. He has over 15 years experience in civil technology, previously with Klon, Crippen, Berger. He'll be discussing GUIDESIGN Plus and TORUS. Next up, we have Wesley Butler. He also has over 15 years of experience in consulting, previously with CWA Engineers and Hatchmont McDonald, and he'll be discussing ParCAD and SiteCM. Last but not least, we have Hannah Khosravi. She has 5 years experience in road design consulting, previously with Bayer on Traffic Consulting, and she'll be discussing Nexus. And now to pass it over to Johan.
Thanks for that introduction, Carol. Okay, so just to preface a few things, you probably saw from our mailer that we'll be going through about 5 products. Now, with that said, literally this is just going to be the tip of the iceberg for each one of these. Truth be told, it takes an hour, sometimes more, to really show you the full capabilities of these softwares. So with that said, it's really just to whet your appetite, let you know what's out there, all the more if you might be working on a project that might need these tools. If you did want to know more, we'll be able to post some information for you to get in touch with us. And we'd be happy to do private webinars for you, hopefully with an example that you may be familiar with. So then you have a better feel for how these tools will actually fit into your day-to-day. So let me start off then with the GUIDESIGN Plus program here. So just a short sort of description in regards to what GUIDESIGN Plus is. It's basically it's a CAD solution for highway and roadway sign design and traffic sign planning. So if you, some of you may be sort of familiar with the GUIDESIGN product. We did have this before, where it creates signs using sort of the intuitive drag and drop method. But what we've also done early in the year, in the release of Plus, we folded in the ability to be able to configure sign assemblies from those guide signs, as well as standard signs, and then be able to place them precisely in our traffic sign plans, afterwards being able to generate schedules and reports. So what I'm going to do is, and you'll probably see this a little bit where we're flashing through some of the some of the folders that we have here. I did want to show you a video. This will walk through just at a very high level what this software can actually do. So in this case, what we're doing is just showing a proposed roundabout and using the design side functionality here, we'll come up with some of the guide signs that would be used in this particular facility. So in this case, what we're doing is just coming up with this guide sign that has 2 sub-panels. And in which case, what we're doing then is we've placed the arrow as well as the name. This is what it looks like after everything's said and done. But alternatively, then you can take it one step further and be able to use the sign planning functionality of this software to be able to pick up that sign and then actually place it within the plan. So in which case here we're just placing it off to the shoulder, and then we're putting the sign face down so you know what that symbol stands for. But in addition to being able to use those guide signs, we also have a library of standard signs that go with that. So you can see the yield sign, route shield signs, as well as the signs that you'd be using for the roundabout, those chevron signs. So all of that really comes together. It's a situation then where really you're in, you're just in one software. Actually, just to read off things, basically, design. You're able to design signs with this as well as lay out the traffic plans easily and efficiently. Design signs as well as traffic sign plans with one software. You don't have to go different places to get and different workflows to get your work done. It is precise yet flexible. So in so much as you're sort of you've got rules that are built into this software that allow you to sort of follow the rules, but you can always break from these, all the more in applications where it may be warranted. Additionally, it's got active design conformity management and feedback. So as you're designing, it will keep you on that straight and narrow. It'll let you know if you're outside of what would be allowed for the rules of creating that particular sign. Minimal training is necessary. In all honesty, this software in particular comes with tutorials that are easy to follow, and you can become an expert in literally no time. And in addition to being able to create the signs as well as those plans, you do have tools for drafting as well as detailing and creating reports. So these signs can be auto-dimensioned, placed into drawing sheets. Those will provide those plans that you can send off to your sign cutters for fabrication. But in addition to that, the output for the sign designs can be output as a DXF, which most sign cutters today can already recognize. So again, it's just the tip of the iceberg, just to let you guys know that it's out there. And so much as you might be designing facilities, I know this is another sort of facet that comes with all things. So there is a tool that we do offer that does this. So I'm going to switch gears now. Let's talk about TORUS. So this will be a little bit more involved because it's a little bit more complex. But hopefully you'll come away with some good things here. So some of the key points before we get into the technical sort of video demonstration here is that TORUS uses a vehicle swept path movements to create the roundabout design. We do use a patented method to ensure that at the very foundation of the geometry that's generated by the software, your design vehicle is already taken into account. You may have to check accommodated vehicles after the fact, but what's initially generated then is it will work for your design vehicle set. One thing that just popped up here, and I may not have mentioned this, if you guys had any questions, actually, what I'd do is just encourage you folks to type that into the Q&A box. What we'll do is we'll actually, at the very end of this, there will be a question and answer period. That'll be the first place that we go to start addressing questions. Just, I guess, bear that in mind. But getting back to this, the other features and tools that this software has is that it does have parametric and dynamic geometric design and editing. What that means then is that this will reduce a lot of the drafting overhead that comes with the design of these particular facilities. In addition to that, you have the fastest path analysis functionality. So you don't, it's not necessary analysis after the fact. You can actually turn this on at the same time that you're designing. So then it's providing you active feedback to make more informed decisions in regards to the geometry, your entry and exit speeds and whatnot. You are also able to leverage the sight lines analysis tool. Again, another just a safety analysis that you can use as feedback to inform your design. And of course, we've integrated vehicle movements into this already. I mentioned earlier on that the software already takes into account the design vehicles, but if you are checking any vehicles after the fact, so maybe emergency vehicles or even larger vehicles that might be more infrequent to your design, you'll be able to do them in that software. And afterwards, you're able to export these into vertical CAD platforms, so be it in as we saw in the poll earlier on, a lot of people probably in Civil 3D, you can actually export the grading model that can be produced through the software into Civil 3D to carry on with your corridor modeling. Okay, just to point out a few product highlights before I get into sort of narrating that video that I've got in store for you folks. Some of the things that can be accomplished with this software is that you can employ spiral lane markings. This would be used in channeling traffic flow in multi-lane roundabouts potentially. You can, as I mentioned in passing, analyze your sight lines. You can do the design grading. And of course, for more infrequent vehicles, if there are provisions that are required for these, you can actually develop custom truck aprons as well as custom outer aprons for these vehicles. To round things off, the most current version of the software is 5.0, and what we introduced there is turbo roundabouts. I think the only DOT that's currently working on an actual turbo roundabout design is in Florida. So if things go forward with that, that'll probably be the first ever in the United States. So we do have functionality already to address that. In addition to that, we've got the adaptive roundabouts that a user can fit over their manually drawn design for further analysis of vehicle movements and potentially the fastest path. So you can still use our tools with any of your manually drawn designs. And of course, we've got the safety functionality of fastest path. And again, you can actually turn this on in the middle of your workflow while you're editing your design, so that you can use that as feedback to make more informed decisions. All right, so what I'll do once again is just going to my library of videos here for you folks, just to turn this on. Now this is an example that we actually did for Virginia DOT when they were sort of looking at potentially picking up this software. Just to walk through the workflow, I've already chosen a design guideline. Those are just sort of the starting rules as well as ranges for all of the dimensional features of the facility, and then I've placed my roundabout there at the sort of where the alignments there converge, and at a click of the button, I'm just going to simply add 4 legs. Sort of amazes people that the software works this way, but again, it's just a lot of that drafting overhead is taken over by just the dynamic functionality of this software. What I'm showing here is just a zoom up of the notifications. I do apologize, it's in red, but again, in so much as we're sort of starting you off with the right dimensions, we sort of keep you within specified ranges from the design guideline. So what we're doing here is just getting rid of some of these warnings, just that one kink there in the south. And then what we're also doing is just putting in for a median. Like I said before, it's all parametric, so it's really clicking a button to add the feature and then maybe changing some of the values to get what you want. Here what we're doing is we're just adding the median to the northwest leg, just so then we can utilize more of the current existing roadway. Now at this point what I'm doing is just to sort of once again further inform my the decisions I'm making for my changes. I'm turning on the fastest path. So in this case I can see my speeds are acceptable, as well as my speed consistencies. So let's say we turn that off. If we had more issues, we could sort of keep that on and start making changes. So we're at a point here now that maybe we've gone through the motions of making the changes in respects to the fastest path. So next thing that we'd want to check in terms of safety would be the sight lines. Here what I'm doing is I've got an easy button that basically generates all the sight lines possible for this particular design. And I've just sort of filtered things so that I can work with my southeast approach here. This right in here is I've turned on the yield line to crosswalk, and hopefully you can see it. My sight line's flashing red, so there's a bit of an analysis function to this. It's letting me know that I'm sort of deficient in sight line distance, and what I'm doing at this point now is just going back to edit very quickly to push back the crosswalks, and you can see it flashes from red to green. That's letting me know then that I've got sufficient sight line at this point. So just to go through the other sight lines that are generated here, that was yield line to crosswalk. This one's the angle of visibility. This one is approach to yield line. And if you might be working in a roundabout near an interstate where the speeds, approach speeds might be higher, you may want to go in there and edit your sight line to account for that speed, which a user can do, as well as for the approach to crosswalk. So we looked at speeds, we've made some edits, we've looked at sight lines, we've done the same. Now what we could take a look at is some of the accommodated vehicles here. Now we did use the bus 40 as the basis for the geometry generation, so I'd want to take a look at maybe what what's going to happen if a WB50 uses this particular facility. So what I've done is I've placed my vehicle movement here by clicking in the starting leg and the leg I want to exit out of. And what I'm looking for then is what's happening, and you can see that the semi's sort of running over the edge here. What I've then turned on is the just the outer apron. This gives me an idea of what kind of area would be required to have a truck apron treatment. But it might be a situation that this might be frequent traffic that I would want to accommodate for this vehicle with all wheels on pavement. So I'm just going back then to go ahead and add the WB50 to override the entry curve as well as the exit curve. So like I said, a lot of this is just at a click of a button, you can sort of have it reflected immediately. So at this point then, my semi-trailer's wheels are accommodated for with all wheels on pavement. Let's sort of step back and just to show you just other things that can be done with this at a click of the button. What I'm doing here is just turning off the notification. So you can see, have you guys focus in on the southeast leg. And what I'll do is just, obviously not for this example, just run through a battery of things that you could potentially do at a click of the button here when editing these legs. So let's go ahead and edit that. And maybe this is sort of a situation where it's an exit only leg. So at a click of a button, we could turn off the entries. We can do the opposite of that. We can turn off the exits. For the entries, what we could do is This would obviously be in reaction potentially to higher speeds. We may want to increase or decrease these. So it's just merely going in there and just changing the value in the field and having it reflected in the design. Here, if there was more traffic, we could put in for a bypass. So just to reiterate, there's just a lot of things that you can sort of go in there, and this is just really a preview of the functionality. We do invite people to sort of ask us if they did want to do a private webinar. We could for sure cater for something like that. So just walking into sort of a precursor to the detailed design, what we're doing here is generating a curve table for the edges of our design. This produces a report then that's a lot more digestible by our survey crews then. And the curve tables, you're getting the annotated curve that gives its radius length as well as its starting and end coordinates. Same thing for the line tables as well. These can be exported as a DXF. Mentioned a little bit that there is grading, but again, for economy of time, that want to make sure that you guys have a good feel for the other tools that we were looking to advertise today. So I'm going to sort of cut it off there, but again, it's an invitation for you guys to just reach out to us if you did want to see more, and we can for sure cater for a private webinar that's that you guys would be looking for. So what I'm going to do now is, if you bear with me, I'm just going to get back to our presentation here, and I'm going to go ahead and hand this off to Wesley Butler.
All right. Good morning. I'm Wesley. I'm going to be presenting to you ParkCAD and SiteCM. ParkCAD is our parking lot design software, and SiteCM is a more general site creating software. So we'll start off with ParkCAD and do a little video on some of the features of ParkCAD. So ParkCAD works on a series of built-in design parameters with all the different geometry of different types of parking for different vehicles, which is what's being shown there on screen. So a great deal of information packed in. You can use it to optimize space for parking, which is ultimately what this is for, to use your space most efficiently. You can add accessibility parking into a design very easily. And it can also generate the SIGOP reports. We're going to demonstrate some of this in our technical demonstration as well shortly. So ParkCAD is a very powerful little program which allows you to design parking lots in very minimal time, saving substantial amounts of time than doing this with an iterative manual process, which would be the traditional way which parking lots would be designed. All right. So we're going to come back to ParkCAD when we do a technical demonstration. Let's look at SiteCM, which is our site planning and designing software. So we have another little video on some of the features of SiteCM. So again, we have design guidelines with the various types of engineering practices that information has to put in there. You can create design paths, which is a three-dimensional model of a building location, with put in your elevation, your grades, slopes, and whatever else. Curbs, retaining walls, custom sweeps. So you're taking a shape, extruding it along a feature line to create that. You do pipe networks. You analyze your flow paths for water flows, create cross sections, volume calculations, various methods of that. You can export that data into use with Civil 3D or other software. So SiteCM is a wide variety of different tools which you can use for different applications. So let's look at some of those applications now. So this is a very versatile software which can be used for lot grading. And there's a sample project that we've created as a lot grading exercise. For mining design, mining layout, taking advantage of feature lines predominantly. For pond retaining structures, so storing water for various purposes. For the oil and gas industry. So a flat area with some drainage around that. Seaports and harbors. And for helipads as well, which is a fairly interesting application. Again, for more of a pipe networks. So pipes, conflicts, profiles as well. And for more detailed drainage design of complex geometry, then there's a site involving sidewalks and curbs. Okay, so we'll get into our technical demonstration. So in this technical demonstration, we're going to lay out a site, a parking area, and then we're going to split into site CM, and we're going to put a design pad around that on that parking area, and we're also going to locate a couple of buildings in there and some of the other general site design. So not a complete site design in 10 minutes, it's a very good start. So we'll take a look at that. So we'll start off by creating a parking lot layout using the ParkCAD software. But here's our site, which is, we're in the ParkCAD ribbon, and I'm working in meters. So ParkCAD works by putting various line work on key layers, and the software will recognize those layers and then be able to apply to that. So there's the guidelines that we're working from. And we're putting in simply large car stalls. So I'm using lot from boundary, which is a very powerful tool, and it's now giving us options of how to use that space. And there's a stall count there, which will tell us, depending on how we orient it, we'll get different stall counts. So we do that, and then you have choices about how you want to locate that bit. All right. So we can also then modify this as well. I'm removing that bottom row, and when we do that, the row next to it updates as well. And again, we have the stall count will update. So in addition to that, we can do individual row of parking. So I'm doing a row of parking along this entrance road. Okay, that's it. Face at 90 degrees. Oh, let's say we want to, no, let's change it. Let's go make that 45 or 60 degrees, let's say. We can change that. And so we can flip over into our angled parking, applying that. We can also change the direction of that. And so we can do different configurations. There's another 54 stalls of angled parking. We can do the accessibility. So by selecting the parking areas that we've designed, it's going to do a count of how many stalls we have and apply 500 stalls. And it'll apply the rule and calculate how many sites of accessibility parking that are required. So we would locate these near the entrances of our buildings, is what I'm doing here. And as we add more of them, it's keeping a track of that. And there we go. We meet the regulations for accessibility parking. We can apply stall numbering to this as well. So it's simply just clicking the first row of each of them and applying the stall numbers. So ParkCAD allows a suite of tools which really optimizes parking lot layout. Instead of doing manual iteration of various concepts to come up with the optimal space, we can try in a matter of seconds. We can try a layout and come up and decide what is the best use for our space, given the type of vehicles and the type of circulation that we're going to be dealing with. Now, ParkCAD is strictly a two-dimensional tool. When we flip here into Site CM shortly, we'll be able to start applying a three-dimensional design to this layout. And I flip into the Site CM ribbon, and I'm going to create a design pad, which is a really powerful tool that Site CM has. So I've simply clicked on the polyline and on the original ground surface, and it brings up the design pad ribbon. Our design pad menu, we have 3 different options. I'm using a plane most of the time. We have an average tool, which will then just sort of best fit our design pad to the existing ground. And we can then change the elevations and the slopes and the directions, and we can work out our design. We hit calculate, and it'll give us the cut and fill. We're doing this all from one screen. No need to go make a design, make surfaces, and so on. Do this all from one screen, and we can iterate. I'm just changing the direction of our slope now, so we have a straight slope across to the east of our site. And we can adjust our elevation once again, based on a 230 meter elevation, sloping down at -2%, and there's the cut and fill. We can apply cut and fill slopes to the outside of this. I just change those to 2-to-1 horizontal to vertical slopes. And this could be the basis of our design. In this example, we're using the design pad as part of a larger design, so I just turned those off. And there's a final cut and fill of just the parking area. We're going to do a more complex layout here. We're going to use surface grading. So again, I'm clicking on outside polyline and the original ground surface. And we bring up the edit surface grading menu. You can add points, polyline, closed feature lines, open feature lines, or remove or change those. And we can start adding different geometry into our surface grading. I'm now adding a feature line that was created by design pad into this. And the software now knows the outside boundary of our site and the parking area. I've now gone into adding some building footprints for 2 buildings. One I'm setting at 230 meters, and then I'm leaving that at finished floor elevate, or leaving the surrounding area at the same. So we have the first of our 2 building envelopes, and I'm going to do the second one. This is a lower elevation down the slope. So I'm setting this at 226, and I'm dropping the surrounding ground by -0.5 meter. So a slightly different effect there. So I'm going to go back, I'm going to turn off the original ground surface. This time, because we don't need it, it's just clutter. And we're now seeing beginnings of our site design here using surface grading. We can go back into surface grading and editing. Give it a second. And we can now go and add our building footprints into this using the elevations that are there. So with a surface grading, but using 3 different pieces of information, we're already well on our way to laying out a site plan. This is still very rough. There's a lot of details that we worked out, but the basic idea is already here. And I'm just adding points now to, in this case, the parking lot access road, and beginning designing this road. So we have a slope coming in about 5 or 6%. As I add individual points, all the rest of the geometry updates accordingly. So I'm just adding a point here across from the parking area. And we need to edit that elevation because our slopes are too steep. So changing that, dropping that down, about 1 meter. Okay, it's not perfect, but it's a start. We can keep working on this. Alternatively, we could add feature lines, and we could do our design this way. There's multiple ways we could use this software to accomplish ends. Flipping into 3D, showing what we have so far. We have a nicely sloped parking area with 2 different building envelopes. One of them is the one building envelope is our building footprints, the same elevation of the parking area. The other is down the slope. Okay. We're into the surface grading again. And we can change the visual properties. I'm just turned on the surface triangles for a moment. And we change colors, so this is all editable. You can change it to look like whatever you want. And it's just switching into AutoCAD's Realistic to show how you could use this for creating some custom images. And back into our 2-dimensional to continue with our design process. So what I'm doing now is I'm using the edit surface grading, adding points. I'm adding low points at some of the islands from the parking area, and these are going to be where we're going to put in our catch basins for our drainage. So we would have the water flowing into these low points, which we would then pick up and then take it off site. So we can add a point. Now we can change the elevation, or we can put the elevation in. There you go. Just changing an elevation. 228.4, which is a slight move. Yep. Okay. We're almost done here. We're adding those, and we're going to. So we've talked about ParkCAD. We're talking about SiteCM as well. So we have a few more things with SiteCM we can demonstrate here. All right, so we're done with laying in these low points. The purpose of doing that is so that we can go ahead and create a storm network, which is the next step. So we have storm, sanitary, and water pipe networks can be made in SiteCM. In this example, we're just going to create a storm network. So we just put the surface, where the software will tie the rim elevations to, and I'm just clicking off these low points now, and it's going to start creating nodes or representing manholes or catch basins. These are the relevant points, and eventually this water would drain off and tie into an existing service. And so we're draining off towards the south, tying into the existing road. All right, so we can wait for that. Right click. So the software is creating those manhole nodes and the bead pipes associated with them. There it is, at the beginnings of our storm network. We're going to create a pipe profile of this simply by clicking the upstream and the downstream nodes. And we have a profile there that's created based on the current geometry. So we can change vertical scales and different things. I'm also turning on the surface grading, which is our finished ground surface. Nice, except the water is flowing uphill at the end. We need to fix that. So first of all, we're going to go and add input flows for each of these manholes from the top down, or from the upstream and down. This would represent water flowing into the catch basins. And as we work our way down the system, these flows will accumulate. The software is taking account of that, and the software will in fact update the size of our pipes based upon the combined input flows as water flows are accumulating through a system. And this could be multiple pipes as well, intersecting, not simply a single line of pipes and nodes as we have here. And as we do this, the software will calculate the accumulated flows, size the pipes accordingly based upon the hydraulics of those pipes. So there is a great deal of calculations that are being done here in the and there's the last one now. And we see we now have a total output flow of 0.4 cubic meters per second that has to be handled in these pipes. So those are the nodes that we've modified there. And we have to correct that last pipe. We have to, there you go, 0.5, it's already up to size to 0.5 meters. We would change that. And we're also adjusting the slope at 2% down. And there we go. The profile has updated itself accordingly. So by updating the nodes and updating the pipes, we can lay out our pipe profiles. We can create cross sections. So I'm just drawing a line. We can create our cross section. Which is simply switching or picking which side we want. And there is a cross section showing our building envelope and our parking area. And we can pick what we want to be shown there in various scales and grids and different things. I'm leaving that quite simple for the moment. So there is the beginnings of our design. We have many other tools as well. We can, of course, grade, cut, and fill. So we're just simply selecting which surfaces we want to compare. There it is. We can place the report in the drawing. We haven't demonstrated any of the curbs, sidewalks, or retaining walls in this example. That would be the next step if we had more time. And there's also many other tools as well that we can use in our design process. So there is in 3 dimensions showing our grading as well as the pipe network, and I just flipped into realistic to help you see that. So the beginnings of a site design in 13 minutes. Thank you for your time. Yeah. Okay. So there's many more videos available up for SiteCM on YouTube as well, and we'll turn it over to Hannah for demonstration of our next program, Nexus.
Hi everyone, and thank you for attending to this webinar. I hope you have enough energy for the last demo, but not the least one. And I'm Hannah, a product manager of Nexus. Nexus is a software that helps designers and engineers to design their intersection and also evaluate their safety and geometric design by creating the sight lines, generating the vehicle turn movements, and analyze different types of conflict points for the design intersection. I'm going to show you a quick demo as an introduction for Nexus. If I want to cover all details about the Nexus, I need to spend more than 2 hours. But today, our purpose is just showing some capabilities of our solutions. And if you're interested, we can have a one-on-one session with individuals or group webinars for firms and organizations. In my example, which I will show you later, you can see how designers and engineers can create an existing intersection for reconstruction or improvement project. Then I will show you the evaluating tools as well, such as evaluating the vehicle movement, evaluate the sight lines, conflict points, and at the end, the intersection grading. Now I would like to switch to my video as a demo for the Nexus. First, I need to define my unit. In this case scenario, I use the metric one. And then I need to define my design guideline. And in this case, I'm using tag design guideline. And based on your desired design guideline, you can define your elements or parameters for geometric design. After that, I need some reference lines to pick them to create very easily the intersection. And after that, it's possible for user to edit each legs by defining the new lanes for a through movement or left turn or right turn movement as well. As you can see here, I try to change the lane width for the west lane legs of the intersection, and also adding different lanes as well. Software gives you a warning message as a feedback. It means that you don't in your designing, you don't pay attention to the design guideline, so you don't see the limits in your design guideline, so you can go and edit your intersection very easily and automatically hold intersection change after your edits. In this case, you can see some warning message as a D1, D2, D3 based on the design guideline that I choose. And in this case, I try to define the bicycle lane for the east leg to just recreate the existing intersection. And also there is a chance for users to edit the corner geometry by editing the radius for corners. Very easily you can see everything change, even the crosswalks and also stop bars after you edit the corner geometry. If you need to make it bigger or smaller, it's possible to do it for all corners. After that, I can go and edit the crosswalk as well by defining the new start point and also defining new angle to rotate the crosswalk for each leg separately. Also, there is another opportunity for us to edit the stop bar as well. In some cases that we need to have all stop bars in the same row, there's an opportunity for us to define them by using the align tools that we have. We can align all the stop bars to make them in the same row. And also we can define the declaration lane. In this case, in this scenario, we have declaration lane in south legs. So very easily I can define the storage lane and also the width for the lane and also the taper radius. And as you can see, you can do it for all legs. Then I'm going to check my design geometry by evaluating the vehicle movements. In this case, I try to pick the vehicle based on the library that I have. Users can use the auto-turn libraries to check the vehicle, which usually we use the big vehicles such as semi-trailer or fire truck. And in this case, I try to use MSU to check my design. And you can see this vehicle can easily have a turn left very easily without any conflict. In the next case, I'm choosing again MSU and then try to create the left turn movement again. As you can see, there is a conflict between this vehicle and also the median. So based on the feedback from the software, we can go and edit our design geometry. So easily, I go back to the design edit intersection tool, and then I can reduce the length for the median of north leg. To fix it, to fix my intersection, to have a safe intersection for different vehicle. After that, you can create sight lines to evaluate the sight lines for drivers. In this case, you can see the sight triangle, which helps engineers and designers to understand if there is any barriers or obstacles which block the driver's view, who they want to see the other side traffic and also the pedestrian who wants to cross the intersection. We can easily pick the vehicle and then pick the leg, and you can see the side triangle for the desired vehicle. And also you can edit the side triangle based on the vehicle speed and different types of vehicle. And you can also generate the left turn sight line as well, which is important to understand how far the vehicle which wants to have a left turn can see the behind of the other side traffic, the same vehicle that wants to turn left as well. And in this case, you can see the conflict points. The designers and the engineers can evaluate their conflict points for the intersection. Vehicle, again, software gives you a report about the number of the conflict points and also the different types of conflict point as well. As you can see, you can pick the intersection easily and turn off each category of your conflict points. Yeah, and this was the last one for evaluate my intersection design. And now I would like to ask Johan to continue to wrap up the webinar. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Hannah. Okay, so yeah, that's a lot to take in, that's for sure. We did record this video though, so in so much as you might want to sort of review that tape in a more leisurely manner, you can do so. We'll be able to provide links as soon as the video has been processed and uploaded. The other thing being is, and it's already been mentioned in passing, obviously this is just the tip of the iceberg in regards to what these tools can do. Each one of these takes anywhere from an hour and a half to 2 hours sometimes to demonstrate fully. So the invitation goes out to you. I know everybody's working. There might be something in here that may have piqued your curiosity. Maybe something that we're doing that we might be doing better. Something that you might want to take advantage of. So it's an open invitation to everyone to if you did want to see more about these. In so much as you guys can go to the website, we do invite you then to just connect with us. We do have our emails up there. Those are personal emails, so please don't put us on any spam lists. But if you did have any questions for the products that we did demonstrate today, please do not hesitate to email us with those questions or any of the requests that you might have to see a personal demonstration of the software. So with that said, we thank you very much for your attention. What we wanted to do just before closing out here is just run a couple of more polls just to get a little bit of information from you folks. One other thing, we weren't able to sort of capture this, but to let you know, we do have webinars coming up next month that are focused solely on the individual products themselves. So those will give you a better understanding of the software and how it actually does work with a little bit more time to digest that. So we do invite you back to just check back with us to see when those schedules are up. Let's go ahead and get into the polling here. So we've opened this up to you. If you do answer to this, this gives us an idea of what you might be interested in. So if you don't get back to us, we can proactively maybe reach out to you, maybe see a chance if you want us to help you with any of this. And on this side, we're actually pleasantly surprised. There's some of these products that are sort of very brand new, but yeah, I mean, we'll run this for another 15 seconds, and then we'll show you guys what the results are if you guys were curious. Okay, so the numbers are settling down here. Let's go ahead and close this out, and you guys will see. Share this. Okay. No surprise in regards to TORUS, only because of the fact that it seems like roundabout construction is really picking up in the United States. But sort of heartening to see that there are people out there that are looking into site CM. So yeah. In comparison to what you guys were doing in Civil 3D, this might actually be a really good solution for you folks. So yeah, don't be shy. If you did want to reach out to us to get a private demonstration, please feel free. We will cater to whatever your schedule might be. We'll go ahead and cater to that. So those are all good information for us all. Let's have you answer one more, and then we'll let you folks go. Thank you again for your patience. So I'll launch this. Okay, sort of the same question, but nonetheless, though, it gives us a good direction. Because at the end of the day, it's not just we're not just peddling software. We want to be It should be mentioned actually is, and you saw sort of our credentials. Most of the PM team actually does hail from industry. So we have come, myself, I'm a technologist. Wesley's a technologist. Hannah, she's EIT. So we understand what it means to be on your side of the desk. So we understand the importance of having the right tools. So it's being able to make sure that you guys have those tools to do the job that you guys need to do. Okay, so I'm going to close this out, just share the results, and we'll move into the question and answer period here. If any of you folks needed to sort of rush out the door, thank you very much for your time and attention. Hope to see you again in the coming webinars come next month. But for everybody else that wants to stick around, we'll get into the Q&A now, and we'll stick around until all the questions are done. So again, thank you once again. And for those running out the door, hope to see you soon. Let me go ahead and just fire up the Q&A, and then we'll start answering the questions that you folks have. Okay, so I'll just leave the contact information up there for anybody that wants to take that information down. And let's go ahead, and what I'm doing right now is just going into the questions. And we've got a lot of questions. Okay, so bear with me here. What I'm trying to do is just trying to, whoops. Not sure why I can't close this. Okay, so let's start from the start. Okay, so the first question that we had was from Ricardo de Guzman. Is there a complete library for Canada as opposed to the US, particularly in Ontario? I'd assume that, okay, so just thinking back to the products that we were talking about, at 1010 we were looking at the GUIDESIGN products. So for GUIDESIGN, we do have a GUIDESIGN Canada. So it does have the MUTCDC rules for the creation of the GUIDESIGNs. In addition to that, then you will have a library of the MUTCDC standard signs that you can use for the sign planning. So that goes to answer that question. Next question, Paul. Was the number of standard signs included being increased? Yes. So the current library that we have for the GUIDESIGN Plus program, at least for the standard signs for the traffic plan design, is currently the 2004 SHS. We are actually working on the 2009 METCD and the 2012 supplement to the 2004 SHS. So there will be a combined library that has all of that that'll be coming out shortly. I guess if you did want to know more, or if you did want to perhaps get an advanced copy of that, Paul, I'd suggest that you just reach out to us, and we'll help you with that. Next question by Keith. Can GUIDESIGN create 3D signs and sign structures for import into Vism and traffic model drive-through, fly-through presentation? Currently, the short answer is no. On the other hand, just to let you guys know, in so much as we're developing products, one of our other strategies here is mergers and acquisitions. We have actually acquired a company in the UK. Sign Design Pro is the product that they have. That is in full 3D. And in addition to that, you do have structure design. Maybe what you can do, Keith, is if you were pressed for time and maybe you wanted to see something in regards to this, you can reach out to us, and we can sort of explore the options. But ultimately, sort of in the near future, we're looking at producing, increasing the functionality of the GUIDESIGN product so then it does go into 3D and does look into structure design. So that's sort of the way we're moving to, as with everything else, everything's sort of moving to BIM, civil engineered models. So it's sort of a natural course for us to go in the next few years. So thank you for that question, Keith. Next question from Reginald. Are these programs in separate packages or are they included in the AutoTurn software product? So this question was asked at about 10:27 into the, so in which case you're probably asking about TORUS. Yeah, the question there. So for the TORUS program, actually I'll answer for all of them. So for TORUS, for the roundabouts product, it is a separate software, but it does require AutoTurn to work. So if you've got AutoTurn, you're halfway there. You can get a license of TORUS, and you'll be able to design your roundabouts with that. For Nexus, same thing. You do need the AutoTurn. The reason why is that those two softwares do leverage the AutoTurn engine for the vehicle movements. Again, those are sort of at the basis of the geometry that's being created, and that's why. But TORUS and Nexus are separate from AutoTurn. You would have to purchase those separately. Question in regards to like ParkCAD can works on its own.
Yeah,
that's fully independent, so you don't need AutoTurn to have that product.
SiteCM is standalone.
SiteCM as well. Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What is that?
Yeah, you need a CAD file.
Oh, okay. So SiteCM does run on top of AutoCAD, but it does not need AutoTurn. So those products, and then for GUIDESIGN, obviously it doesn't need AutoTurn. So that sort of answers the question for all products there. Thank you for your question, Reginald. So is the existing surface a TIN file?
From the SiteCM, I assume.
1034, probably SiteCM, I guess that would be.
Yeah, so the surface we're using in SiteCM that was created with SiteCM, you can create a surface from points, from contours, which I think is what that one was, or you can import them as a land XML from Civil 3D.
Okay. And Eric, you had a follow-up question there, and can you do horizontal and vertical alignments using SiteCM?
No. The software doesn't have alignment functions at this point. We have a roads program that gives you alignment functionality.
Yeah, so it's still a little bit. When we say a little bit in the future, it's in the future for sure. So Eric, I guess stay tuned. That's one thing that we're sort of getting from these questions. Then is a direction to go in regards to the products, and we would sort of it's not even really being debated on this side. We were already sort of moving towards that direction, but it's sort of questions like this that go to validate the need for such. So if anything, we do thank you for your input. That may actually that will likely guide us on the way that we should be going. Okay, so next question: how is ParkCAD and SiteCM together different from the Bentley Systems SiteOps? So,
well, the SiteOps, from what I understand of it, includes you can do a parking lot layout, but you don't have a lot of detailed control over your design. SiteOps, as they emphasize in their material, is for laying out concepts, and doing pricing estimation. It is not a detailed design software. SiteCM allows you to get right in there and actually design your elements, and as all the pieces intersect with each other. With SiteOps, it doesn't seem, from what I understand of it, that you have that degree of control. It's more of it's a conceptual. SiteOps is only a conceptual tool. SiteCM is meant for details.
Okay. So thank you for that question, McKenna. So next question, this one from Keith. It says, can SiteCM help draw drainage areas?
It does have some tools for working with drainage areas and calculating out the areas of which will go into different drainage paths. Yes, there is some functionality that's being worked on further.
Okay. So now we're getting to the questions that came here at the very end. Ricardo's come back. His next question is, how much is a seat of TORUS and SiteCM? Sort of embarrassing here. They don't let us touch the money. So what we can do, Ricardo, we'll actually contact you. We'll tap the shoulder of sales to engage with you directly in regards to pricing, as well as potentially evaluations. And with that, we'll make sure that you get that information so you can make your decisions. Thank you for that. You had one more follow-up question here. Can we have access to evaluation license? Yes. So when we do get back to you, sales will be able to talk about how many evaluations you may want. Given that you did want an evaluation with TORUS and SiteCM, myself as well as Wesley, we will volunteer ourselves. We would want to do a one-on-one or a group private webinar with you, hopefully with an example that you might already have, so that we'd be able to use that tool and show its workflow with something that you guys are familiar with. So you don't have to make that connection anymore. You can have a full understanding of how this is going to fit on your day-to-day. So Ricardo, we'll be getting back to you relatively shortly there. Okay, so just searching in, Jonathan, same question. How much does ParkCAD cost? We don't know. We'll make sure that sales gets back to you. So then you've got costing, whether it be for a standalone or for network licensing. But you can hear. Rest assured, you'll hear from us soon. Okay. So another question here, Tony G. So how would you guys compare yourselves with other products like Bentley Geopack and Inroads Civil Design softwares? Okay, so it's a question of which. Okay, so we're talking about verticals here for the most part. Let's talk in regards to at least what TORUS can do and what it can output. TORUS, you are able to, in so much as you're doing your 2D design, you can go into 3D, figure out for what the grading design should be. A user can take that information directly out of TORUS then and move it into Inroads or Geopack. You can export the edges and alignments as in LAN XML. Then you can take them in and import them into an ALG file that you can carry on with for your corridor modeling. So it sort of cuts shorts there. There's a little bit of a hard break between using that TORUS software and then what happens in Inroads. But the one thing that sort of come to mind, we're starting to take a look at open roads civil cells. So we're looking at functionality that could potentially, could be a one-button sort of solution where, in so much as you've created your 2D and grading design, you press one button and it pumps out a civil cell that you can go forward with. Nexus, pretty much the same, I believe, at this point. For SiteCM, on the other hand, that is an AutoCAD only software at this point. With that said, we would be potentially looking in the future to support both the Bentley products as well as in so much as we're already supporting AutoCAD. Yeah, Tony, it's a very broad question. I guess hopefully that gives you a feel for what that comparison is. But if you feel unsatisfactory then in regards to what we've provided as an answer, please just just email me. My email is on the screen, jf@transoft.solutions.com. I'll get back to you in regards to it. Okay, next question is from Paul. Will Transoft Solutions be at the ITE meeting in Toronto? I think Hannah?
Yeah, for sure. We can see you at ITE. We also have a session with TORUS Central Link. We have a presentation for TORUS AutoTurn, and also we will be at Ryerson University as well. We have a demonstration for TORUS and Nexus, which is more closer to the training session with more details. You can join us. You can just register for that. It's free. You just join us, and we will see you soon.
We've got swag to give away, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you guys are in the Toronto area and you'll be attending ITE, we got free stuff for you. I think we've got we've got those nice notebooks, I think, that are going out, as well as some thumb drives if you needed some storage. So hope to see you folks there.
Yeah.
So thanks for that question, Paul. Reginald, again, you're asking for pricing. Thank you for that. We'll get back to you immediately with all those pricing, so then you'll have a feel for what's this gonna cost me, right? Jonathan, question, does ParkCAD run in AutoCAD? Yes, it does. So, and for all of those you folks, in so much as it runs in AutoCAD, it also runs in MicroStation. So, yes, it does run in AutoCAD. Reginald has come back with another question. Is there training available for each software package? We do have trainings available. It depends on what type. Could be we do have self-paced manuals. We can do training online as well as doing on-site training. So I guess a question goes out to you, goes back to you, what you might be looking for. We can take a look at what we can offer there. Okay, so let's see here. Is there evaluation licenses to use for the site product? This is a question from Tony.
Not just go website.
Yeah, it's available for download on our website.
Okay, so if you did want to play with SiteCM, it is available for download on our website. So don't be shy if you wanted to, kick the tires on that. That way I can compare to see. Oh, okay, yeah. In which case you're looking to compare between Bentley and Rhodes products. We'd actually be curious what you find. So Tony, when you do, and maybe what we could do is we could keep in touch with you. We will, in all honesty, we want you to be brutally honest. We want to know, what are we doing good, but what are we doing bad? What do we got to fix? Again, it's just we're building tools that are supposed to make sense to you guys. We do need your input. So Tony, if you can sort of complain to us, whatever those findings might be, our ears are open. So we'd really be keen to know, what we should be doing. Thank you again. Okay, so that rounds out all the questions. There's still, 6 people in the room. I guess you guys stuck to the very end. Congratulations. But nonetheless, though, from everyone here on this side, we thank you very much for your time and attention. I know everybody's busy, but you guys did make the effort to come out here. Again, the invitation goes out to you guys. If you guys want us to do any private webinars for you, we will make the time for you folks. And let's leave it at that. Thank you once again. You've got our contact information. If you did want to get back to us, please feel free to email. So my name is Johan Flores. I'm signing off. Thank you once again.